Welcome to Plants vs. Zombies. This time, I've got to defend my garden from the zombie horde, using plants that are harmless, and some that definitely aren't. To complete the game 100% and unlock all 21 achievements, I'll need to replay the adventure mode a few times, try out every minigame, survive 20 waves in survival mode, and farm a ton of coins to grow that crazy tree. I decided to start with adventure mode. The premise is simple. Here's my house, here's the lawn, and zombies are marching straight toward me. My job is to stop them before they eat my brains. To do that, I've got a whole arsenal of plans to fight them off. Of course, the game ramps up and gets more challenging, but for now, the zombies are just dumbly walking, one after another. All I need to do is collect the sun falling from the sky, buy pea shooters, and place them on the lawn. After fending off the first wave, the game adds new plants to my arsenal like the sunflower. On defense, it's basically useless, but if you place it at the back and protect it with peas, it will generate extra income. Plant costs are pretty high, and I won't last long on just the sun falling from the sky. So sunflowers are the most important, and I need to plant them as early as possible. But there are other plants too, not as essential, but still really useful. Each of them has its own unique ability, like the cherry bomb. At first glance, it looks harmless, but if you throw it into a group of enemies, it explodes after a short delay, turning them into ashes. The potato mine works similarly, but it takes longer to arm. Using the mine correctly earns me my first achievement. By the way, this level isn't just about new plants. Some zombies are tougher too. A few of them even reinforce their heads with traffic cones. Each following level introduces new types of zombies, runners who can jump over your plants, bucket heads that are nearly impossible to take down, and zombies with every kind of vehicle imaginable. I won't go into detail about all of them, though let's get back to the game, especially since the current wave is over and I finally have the entire lawn unlocked. But besides the regular stages, each area also has 2 mini-games. On level 5, my neighbor Dave shows up and invites me to play some bowling. Except the pins are zombies and the ball is a walnut. In the second mini-game, plants come in for free on a conveyor belt, while the number of zombies keeps increasing. But I didn't have any trouble with any of them. If anything, the mini-games actually helped break up the routine. So, let's move on. After completing level 10, my lawn changes a bit, night falls. The sun that used to drop from the sky stops appearing, and daytime plants get replaced by mushrooms. They're weaker, but also cheaper. This one is actually free, so I'll be using it to get through the next levels. While I was explaining all this, the zombies decided to set up a spawn point right on my lawn by placing gravestones everywhere. That leads into the next mini-game, where I don't have any plants at all. This time, I'm defending the house with a hammer. Smashing zombies over the head is fun, but more importantly, at the end of that level, I unlock another mushroom that makes zombies hallucinate and fight for me. The most fun part is giving this mushroom to the dancing zombie. Once he eats it, he summons 4 backup dancers, and they all start attacking their own kind, and the game rewards me with another achievement. The game also mixes things up with new locations, a pool, a nighttime pool, and even the roof. Each one comes with its own rules. The pool level looks a lot like a regular daytime stage, but now there's water in the middle. To defend those center lanes, I had to buy lily pads and place my plants on top of them. On one of the levels, I managed to plant a ton of sunflowers, so I decided to take advantage of it and go for over 8,000 sun to unlock the achievement. But by the final wave, I couldn't pull it off. So, just to not lose the chance, I had to remove all my attacking plants and stall the last zombies until I got it. This level also gave me the key to my neighbor's car, which works as a shop. Throughout the game, I've been collecting coins from zombies, and now I can finally spend them on new plants and upgrades. I didn't have a lot of money, so I only picked up a sunflower upgrade and jumped right back into the game. In the mini-game at this location, plants also come in on a conveyor belt. For some reason, all the zombies are tiny. Feels like the perfect moment to unlock another achievement. To get it, I need to blow up 10 or more enemies at the same time. Doing that in a normal level is pretty tough. Zombies usually walk in one by one and stay spread out. But here, it's easy. I just hold them back with walnuts until enough of them group up. The night level is different, mainly because of the fog covering the right side of the screen. There's also another mini-game. The lawn looks clean, but every few seconds, the lights go out, and I have to set up my defenses in the dark. I'll have to come back to this level more than once. But for now, let's move on to the roof. Honestly, my favorite location so far. First, you can only plant in pots, which of course cost money. Second, The roof is sloped, so regular plants don't work that well here. To deal with the zombies, I'll be using some new plants: the cabbage pult, kernel pult, and melon pult. The cabbage one just shots normally, while the corn sometimes fires a chunk of butter that stops enemies in their tracks. And the melon, it launches huge projectiles that also damage zombies in nearby lanes. But the roof also brings in new zombies. The bungee zombie can drop in and steal random plants. And then there's the gargantua. He's huge, takes a ton of damage, and can destroy a plant in a single hit. Once you get him down to half health, he pulls an imp off his back and throws it halfway across the map, right into the weakest spot, wiping out everything I've got there. The only real way to deal with him is to take him out fast with explosives. Just for fun, I also decided to beat one level without using any catapults. To make it work, I had to place plants right at the edge so they could actually hit something, and I used snow peas to slow zombies down, since the distance here is really short. I really liked playing on the roof this way, so I ended up beating most of the levels like that. By the end of the level, completely by accident, I unlocked an achievement for beating the roof without catapults. After finishing level 7, I unlocked a new plant, the marigold. Just like the sunflower, it's useless for defense, but instead of sun, it produces coins. And that ties into another achievement. I need to plant several marigolds and collect 30 coins without missing a single one. But now it's time for the final boss, and he shows up in a massive robot. The fight is long and pretty tough. Zombies keep flooding in, while the boss throws cars and launches fireballs that wipe out everything in their path. Slowly, as I build up my defenses and deal with the waves, I finally take him down and unlock the achievement for completing Adventure Mode. But before moving on to other modes, I need to run through Adventure one more time. First, I enter the mustache command to unlock a secret mode. Now all the zombies have mustaches. It doesn't make the zombies any stronger. If anything, they just look a bit more confident. More importantly, it gives me another achievement. Then I headed over to the bowling minigame. In this minigame, there's another achievement to unlock. The walnut has to bounce off zombies 5 times in a single throw. I managed to pull it off pretty quickly, actually on my first try. As you already know, each location has its own rules, but for some achievements, I'll have to bend those rules a little. To unlock Good Morning, I need to beat a daytime level using only mushrooms. This achievement only took me 2 attempts, since the free mushrooms turned out to be really strong. I just needed to wake up one row of them and then use those same mushrooms to hold back the zombies while I built a proper defense. By beating the level this way, I unlocked the achievement. But beyond just earning achievements, I also experimented with different tactics and ways to beat the levels. The most fun for me was covering the entire lawn with spikeweeds and adding a row of snow peas to slow enemies down. Not only are spikeweeds cheap, but zombies can't even damage them. And if you upgrade all of this, it turns into something insanely overpowered. It's a shame this only works on the early locations. You can't really do this on the roof or in the pool. But let's get back to the achievements. I've already cleared a daytime level using only mushrooms. So now it's time to do the opposite. Beat a night level using only daytime plants. The achievement itself is pretty simple. All I really need to do is let a few zombies through at the very start, while stacking all my sunflowers on one lane. But honestly, even without any special strategy, I got the achievement without much trouble. Next up is an achievement called Don't Pee in the Pool. Yeah, you can probably guess what that's about. For this one, I bought a corn cannon and decided to test it out. You can't just place it right away, though first I need to plant 2 kernel pults and only then upgrade them into the cannon. The catch is, it doesn't fire on its own, so I have to launch each shot manually. Honestly, it's one of the most overpowered things in the game. Just 2 shots can wipe out pretty much the entire screen. I clear the level without any issues, and by the end, that's another achievement done. The next one comes from the night pool, specifically the final minigame, where someone keeps turning off the lights. On the second playthrough though, a special zombie shows up, the Yeti, and to get the achievement, I don't really have to do much. At some point, the Yeti appears, gets taken out, and I get the achievement. Another one I unlocked on the roof, for taking down a gargantuar with the corn cannon. The idea is simple. Plant some kernel pults, upgrade them into cannons, wait for the gargantuar to show up, and take him out. Since I've already finished all the achievements in adventure mode, it's time to move on to the other modes, like minigames. Some of them are familiar, like bowling, while others are completely new. Zombies with plants instead of heads, a slot machine where you can do a little gambling, and even a level with invisible zombies. Most of them are pretty easy, so there's no real reason to spend too much time on each one. There is an achievement for completing all 20 minigames though. So now it's time to move on to the puzzle modes. There are two of them, Vasebreaker and iZombie. At first glance, everything seems pretty simple. In Vasebreaker, you smash vases that can contain either plants or zombies. But to unlock the achievement, I first need to reach the final level, which isn't too hard, and then survive 15 waves there without losing once. And that's where it gets tricky. With each wave, there are more zombies, fewer plants, and a lot of it comes down to luck. But after a few attempts, I finally made it to wave 15 and got the achievement. I kept going for a bit longer, but getting past wave 20 was just too much. In the second mode, I play as the zombies, buying them with the same sun currency. The goal is to clear all the brains in every lane. The achievement here is for completing 10 waves on the final level. For me, this mode was actually much easier. Instead of relying on luck, it's all about strategy. Once you get the hang of efficient play and managing your resources, getting the achievement isn't a problem at all. The next achievement I unlocked was for buying every plant in the game. Most of them felt pretty useless, but some were actually really strong, like the Winter Melon, which deals heavy damage and slows enemies down, or the Imitator, which lets me copy plants and place them more often. After that, I moved on to the final mode, Survival. It's basically the same as regular levels, but each stage comes in sets of 5 waves. On one of those levels, I earned the Golden Sunflower Trophy for completing all game modes, along with another achievement. Eventually, I made it to the final level, where I had to survive 20 waves to unlock another achievement. Here's the strategy I went with. My main damage dealers were corn cannons. Behind them, I placed a few chompers to deal with any imps. To slow enemies down, I used Winter Melons, and for extra damage, I added Starfruit, which also helped deal with miners. To protect everything, I used pumpkins, along with tall nuts and a few spike weeds up front. With this setup, I managed to survive all the way to wave 20 and unlock the achievement. Things did start to fall apart around wave 19, but the achievement still counted, so the strategy works. And finally, the hardest achievement of them all, growing the Tree of Wisdom to 100 feet. To do that, I needed to farm a massive amount of coins and spend them on fertilizer. At first, I tried earning money by growing plants in pots and watering them, but it was painfully slow. So I checked out a few YouTube guides and tried making money that way. But even that felt slow, and honestly, pretty boring. So I decided to play through Adventure Mode for the third time and reach the pool level where the Yeti appears. The thing is, taking out the Yeti drops a lot of diamonds. And if you save the game before collecting them, and use a couple of simple tricks, you can pick them up over and over again, basically farming infinite coins. That way, I farmed coins, spent them on fertilizer, and grew the tree to 100 feet, which earned me my final achievement. And that's it. The game is now 100% complete, which took me around 50 hours. That's all for today. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.